At my baby's first birthday, my mother-in-law stood up during cake cutting and shouted, "SHE doesn't deserve this baby. SHE doesn't deserve anything." Guests turned horrified as she rambled on about all the sacrifices she made raising my husband and how I owed her the baby. She thought she was rallying support. Instead, family members quietly picked up their gifts, kissed my baby goodbye, and left her screaming into an empty backyard. She still hasn't been invited to anything since. I'm still shaking as I write this. It's been months since it happened, but the way it all went down, it replays in my head almost every night. I'll start from the beginning because people online always ask, how could it get that bad? The truth is, it didn't happen all at once. It was slow, sneaky, and looking back, I feel stupid for not cutting her off sooner. I met my husband, Aaron, in Baltimore when I was 27. We met at a friend's housewarming party. He wasn't loud or pushy. He was the guy who helped carry furniture up the stairs while everyone else was drinking. I liked that about him. Aaron didn't talk much about his family at first. I only knew his mom was single and lived in nearby Parkville. I asked once if he was close to her, and he just shrugged and said, "She's a lot sometimes." That was the first red flag. I just didn't know it yet. We dated for 2 years. He was loyal, patient, and honest. We moved in together, and a year later he proposed. I was happy. He made me feel safe. Then came the wedding planning. That's when I met Judy. Judy is the kind of woman who walks into a room and expects people to stop what they're doing. She talks loud, dresses loud, has this hard look in her eyes, like she's always judging someone. At first, I chalked it up to nerves. Maybe she just wanted to be involved. She didn't ask questions, she made demands. "You'll wear my veil," she said the second time we met. It was yellowed lace from 1981. When I politely declined, she acted like I had insulted her dead grandmother. She didn't speak to me for 2 weeks. Aaron told me, "That's just how she is." He grew up walking on eggshells around her. I can see that now. But back then, I wanted to be liked. So, I ignored it. I smoothed things over. Big mistake. The wedding came and went. Judy wore white. That should have been my final clue. Fast forward a year, we're pregnant. First baby. Judy went from distant to obsessed overnight. She texted every day, called every other hour, dropped off homemade soup even when we asked her not to. She said she needed to make sure I was doing things right. One day, she showed up with a massive binder she made. I wish I was joking. Inside, meal plans, labor advice, names she liked, things to avoid. She called it the baby plan. Like I wasn't already growing this child inside me. Like I was just the babysitter. Things got worse in the 3rd trimester. She told Aaron she wanted to be in the delivery room. I told him no. He agreed with me, but he never told her that. So when I went into labor, we didn't tell anyone right away. We waited until after the birth to share the news. She lost her mind. I was still in the hospital bed, holding Noah for the first time, when she barged in.
She didn't even look at me.
She went straight for him. "I should have been here," she cried. "You stole this from me." I was wearing a hospital diaper. I hadn't even peed by myself yet. And this woman was throwing a tantrum because she missed the birth. The nurse stepped in and kicked her out. Thank God. I thought maybe that would be enough to make Aaron see. It wasn't. He kept saying things like, "She means well," and "She's just emotional." She showed up uninvited at least once a week. I started keeping the doors locked. She complained to Aaron that I was keeping her grandson away. She cried on the phone, saying she was scared she'd be cut out. That was the first time she used the word mine when talking about Noah. She said, "He's mine, too." I told Aaron straight up, if she says something like that again, I'm done. He begged me to give her one more chance. He swore she'd behave at Noah's first birthday. She didn't. We planned a small party in our backyard in Catonsville. Close friends, family, some of Aaron's cousins. Barbecue, balloons, nothing fancy. I made cupcakes and a little cake just for Noah to smash. I thought maybe, just maybe, Judy could act right for one afternoon. She showed up early. way early. While I was still putting out chairs, she came in with a sour look and a cooler full of her own food. She said, "Just in case yours isn't good for the baby." I ignored it. Guests arrived. Everyone smiled, passed Noah around, took pictures. He was in a tiny birthday crown, covered in icing. It was actually going well. Then came the cake cutting. I had Noah in his high chair. We sang. I helped him smash into the cake. Laughter, applause. I looked around and thought, maybe we're okay. Then Judy stood up. She didn't just stand. She pushed her chair back, real slow, like she wanted everyone's attention. She had a full glass of sweet tea in her hand. I remember the ice clinking. She raised her voice. "She doesn't deserve this baby. She doesn't deserve anything." At first, I thought I misheard.
Then she pointed at me.
I sacrificed everything to raise Aaron. I gave up my life for him. And this little brat comes along and locks me out of the birth? Tries to take my family from me. No one said a word. She's selfish. Judy kept going. She won't let me help. She treats me like a stranger. And now she thinks she's some perfect mother? I should be the one raising this baby. Dead silence. My heart was pounding. I wanted to scream back, but I couldn't even move. Noah was playing with cake. Aaron looked like he'd been slapped. Then Aaron's cousin, Dave, stood up, quietly grabbed the gift off the table. "We're gonna go," he said flat. His wife kissed Noah on the forehead and left. One by one, everyone followed.
Some nodded to me.
A few whispered sorry. No one said a word to Judy. She stood there, alone, yelling at the empty chairs. "You all know I'm right," she screamed. "You're just cowards. She's the problem." Aaron pulled her aside. She yanked her arm away, kept shouting. Said we were turning Noah against her. Said we were stealing her legacy. Eventually, she left. That was the last time she was invited to anything. After that birthday disaster, we expected things to go quiet. For a little while, they did. Aaron blocked her number. I unfriended her on everything. We started to breathe again. No more surprise visits. No more guilt trips. Just us and Noah.
Peace.
But Judy wasn't done. A month later, Aaron got an email from a random Gmail address. The subject line was, "Read this before it's too late." It was a letter, 3 pages, all in caps. She said I was poisoning her son, that I was keeping Noah from his real family. She blamed me for everything, for Aaron's distance, for her loneliness, even for the fact that she no longer felt welcome in her own bloodline. She said I was trying to erase her. We ignored it. Then came the packages. They started showing up at our door every other week. No return address. Just baby stuff. Clothes, toys, diapers, always in her style, her colors. Everything smelled like her perfume, that heavy floral stench I could never stand. The creepiest one came with a note that said, "He'll know me. He'll feel me. I'm in his blood." That night, Aaron called the police. They said since she hadn't technically threatened us, there wasn't much they could do. We installed cameras, changed the locks, kept every package as evidence, just in case. Still, Aaron hesitated to cut ties completely. "She's my mom," he kept saying. "She's messed up, but she raised me." I was tired of being the bad guy. I told him, "Then you deal with her. I'm done." And I meant it. Then came Christmas. We didn't invite her. Obviously. We hosted a quiet morning at home, just the 3 of us. Opened presents, made pancakes, played with Noah's new toys. Around noon, we heard a knock at the door. I froze. Aaron checked the camera. It was Judy. Standing on our porch with a red bow in her hair and a giant gift bag. He opened the door a crack. "You need to leave," he said. She didn't move, just held out the gift. "It's for my grandson," she said. "Don't let her take this from me, too." "I'm not letting you in," he said. "You made your choice." She dropped the bag on the porch. "You'll regret this," she said. "One day, you'll both regret it." Aaron shut the door. I watched through the peephole as she stood there for another minute, then slowly walked to her car. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. 3 weeks later, Child Protective Services showed up at our door. Someone anonymous, of course, had reported us for neglect and emotional abuse. Claimed our baby was in danger. Said I was emotionally unstable and Aaron was completely under my control. The social worker was polite, but firm. She asked questions, looked around, checked the fridge, took notes. I sat there shaking the entire time. When she left, she said, "It's pretty clear this was a false report. But we still have to follow protocol." Aaron was pale. She wouldn't, would she? I didn't answer. I didn't have to. The next day, I forwarded the CPS letter to a lawyer. I was done playing nice. We hired a lawyer. I didn't want to go that far. But after CPS showed up at our door, I stopped caring about what anyone thought of me, even Aaron. I told him flat out, either we handle this legally or Noah and I are leaving. That scared him enough to act. Our lawyer, Ms. Keene, was sharp. No fluff, just facts. We showed her everything. The packages, the emails, the CPS visit, even the video from the birthday party. She nodded through it all and said, "You're not overreacting. This woman is escalating." She filed a cease and desist letter on our behalf. We had it formally served to Judy's house. For 2 weeks, we didn't hear a word. No packages. No emails. Just silence. Then she got creative. Someone started leaving flyers in our neighborhood. I'm not joking. Actual printed flyers taped to light poles and mailboxes. They had a photo of Judy holding baby Noah from months earlier, one of the few times I let her near him. And below it, in huge black letters, "My grandson. Stolen from me by a controlling daughter-in-law. Help me see him." I found one at the playground near our house. Another taped to the door of the grocery store. The worst part? Some neighbors started asking questions. One old man actually said, "That's your mother-in-law? She came by crying. Said you'd gone crazy." Aaron lost it. He drove straight to her house and pounded on her door. She didn't answer. She didn't have to. The next morning, we woke up to spray paint on our garage door. It said, "Monster Mother, the cops came again." Took photos. We gave them the footage from our security camera. It showed her sneaking around at 3:17 a.m. in a hoodie and gloves.
Clear as day.
But they couldn't arrest her. Not yet. All they could do was file a report and continue monitoring the situation. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat up in the living room with a baseball bat on my lap, watching the baby monitor and listening for any sound outside. Aaron cried in the kitchen. I'd never seen him cry like that. He kept saying, "How did it come to this?" I didn't say it, but I knew the answer. It came to this because we let her keep getting away with it. 2 days later, she showed up at Aaron's work. That's right. She actually walked into his office building and told the receptionist she was there for a family emergency. They let her through. She barged into his office in front of his co-workers and started screaming that he was letting his wife destroy everything. Said she would never forgive him for choosing that woman over his own mother. Security escorted her out. Aaron's boss called him in the next day. Asked if everything was okay at home. Said it was affecting the office. Aaron broke down. He told him everything. They put him on a stress leave for 2 weeks. That's when he finally said it. "We're getting a restraining order." I didn't respond. I just held his hand. But Judy wasn't done yet. Not even close. The restraining order took a few weeks. We had to gather more evidence, write statements, wait for the court date. During that time, we stayed inside as much as we could. Barely slept. Barely talked. The silence between us was loud. One night, while Aaron was rocking Noah to sleep, I finally asked, "Why didn't you stop her earlier?"
He didn't look at me.
"I didn't want to believe she could hurt people," he said. "She was all I had growing up. I thought if I just kept her calm, she'd stay in control." I didn't say what I was thinking. You protected her more than you protected us. But I felt it. Deep in my chest. The restraining order was approved. Judy was legally blocked from contacting us, coming near our house, even showing up at Erin's job again. It should have felt like a win. But it felt like we were bracing for her next move. She made it 2 days later. It was a Sunday morning. Quiet.
Cold.
I was feeding Noah scrambled eggs when I noticed something on my phone. A bunch of missed calls. A few texts from Erin's cousin Dave. You need to see this. She went off the rails. Check Facebook. I opened the app. Judy had gone live. Her face filled the screen, red and tear-streaked. Her hair was wild, like she hadn't brushed it in days. She was standing in front of our old church, holding a photo of Noah like it was a missing child flyer. She's taken him from me, she sobbed to the camera. That girl has poisoned my son. She's brainwashed him. I haven't seen my baby, my grandbaby, in months. Comments were rolling in. Some people gave her sympathy. Others were confused. A few people I didn't recognize tagged me by name and said I had no right to cut out a grandmother. She ended the video with, "If anything happens to me, you'll all know who to blame." Erin's hands were shaking as he watched it. She's unraveling, he said. She's going to do something stupid. She already had. 2 hours later, the police called. Judy had been picked up for trying to break into a daycare center. Not ours, just the one closest to our neighborhood. She told the staff, "My grandson is in there. I'm here to rescue him." They arrested her for trespassing and violating the restraining order. She screamed all the way to the squad car. We pressed charges. I told the judge everything. I didn't hold back. I told him about the birthday party, the CPS call, the flyers, the break-in, the live stream, the way I slept with a bat under my bed. She didn't speak during the hearing, just sat there shaking her head, tears running down her face. Erin gave a statement too. His voice cracked. "She was a good mom once," he said, "but something broke. And I let her keep breaking things because I didn't want to face it. I let her hurt my wife. I let her make my son a target. That's on me." The judge granted us a full restraining order for 5 years. She wasn't allowed within 500 feet of us, our house, our jobs, or any childcare center. We left the courthouse in silence. But that wasn't the end. The fallout came later. Erin's family split down the middle. Some people blamed Judy, said she needed help, said she'd always been dramatic but never dangerous until now. Others blamed me. She was just a lonely grandma, they said. You escalated it. A few people stopped talking to us. That hurt Erin the most. He lost his uncle, 2 cousins, and his godmother. They didn't even call when Noah turned 2.
Me?
I don't miss any of them. Judy ended up in a psychiatric treatment center 6 months later. Her sister told us quietly, said she'd had some kind of breakdown. Kept saying he was stolen and she took everything from me. We didn't send flowers. We didn't visit. Erin still struggles with the guilt. He goes to therapy now every week. He's trying to rebuild his confidence, be a better husband, a better father. I still have the bat under my bed. Not because I think she'll come back, but because I know now how far someone can go when they believe they're entitled to your child. And if I made one mistake in all of this, it was waiting too long to protect my family. I thought being polite would keep the peace. I thought ignoring her crazy would make it go away. But crazy doesn't leave when you ignore it. Sometimes, it just gets louder. She screamed at a baby's birthday party thinking everyone would take her side. Instead, they walked away and left her alone with her rage. And that's how she's been ever since. Alone. On the outside of every party. Screaming into the wind, where nobody's listening. Not anymore.